Welcome everyone to another fine episode of Gym Guys Podcast, episode 17. And we're calling this the continuation of our Team Universe series. Really blessed to know and be acquainted with these gentlemen that we've been having as guests on the podcast. We'll introduce them shortly, but I'm Drago1850, Chris Scotto, affiliate with Animal for decades. Our co-host, Eric Schwartz, poor power man, poor power president, always hitting at least a single bicep shot. And also a consultant and fine connoisseur of many supplements out there. We have Jason Budsock, VP of Product Development and more. We'll leave that open with the ... Just great friends of mine, great associates that I'm proud to share the screen with. And as we get into our next guest, I definitely want to start off with the prelude as to how awesome it was to go to the Marriott Glen Point, New Jersey, and watch this win. I learned all about the history, the journey, which is what we're going to cover today. He is now, or was, Masters 35 plus overall winner of the Team Universe on July 1st. It was a heck of a show, really big lineup. He was just posing up there like it was like no other. Really, it was just completely inspiring. And now is an IFBB Pro, so we're definitely going to ask him what his next show may be or what his next plans are. Hopefully he's not retiring like G6 like Gary is, but everyone's got their reasons and we respect them all. Correct me if I'm wrong, this was a 16-year journey for you.
Yes,
16 years of competing.
Yeah.
That's a career right there. Unbelievable. Something that's close to my heart and my palate. He's the owner of Coronato's Clean Cuisine. He does phenomenal meal prep. Look him up, and we'll get to all the websites and how you can find them in a moment. He's super cool with how he supports local brands as well. That was something that I really admired in him, giving back and appreciating what all these other smaller companies are doing to try and make it, including Eric's Poor Power.
Yes.
So without further ado, I want you all to welcome Christian Coronato, Masters 35 plus overall winner and now new IFBB Pro. Christian, we're so blessed to have you, so fortunate to have you. Thank you for coming on our podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I feel like I don't get a chance to do these too often, so I really appreciate it.
No, you deserve it, and that's what this podcast is all about. We're going to give you the screen or the stage in a moment, and we'll let you do the talk, and that's where it usually is it's just a beautiful thing. So before we get into all your history about your journey and what you just accomplished and where you're going after this, we're going to turn it over to Eric and Jay for quite a bit of current events over the last week or two since our last episode.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. There was a bodybuilding show this past weekend, Tampa Pro, with Hunter Labrada winning, son of the legendary Lee Labrada, who I know we grew up watching. So that's really cool to see him win. And John De La Rosa made his comeback there and took second. Johnny looked great, man. He's been out of the scene for a while, and I didn't even know he was getting ready for the show.
I'm such a fan of John's. I just think I always like this physique, and I love to see him back, especially top two. It's huge.
Yeah, that's nice to come back and make that big of an impact, right off the bat.
He's a lot older than those guys.
Yeah, true. I forget how old he is now. Yeah. We got a show coming up. I don't know what the date is. I don't know if it's this weekend or soon, but there's a Texas show going on, and John Jewett's going to throw his hat in the ring in the Open.
Yeah,
all that.
That's a big deal.
Which is very interesting.
I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
Got such a crazy physique, and I know it hurt him pulling down to 212, and he's like he's like a Derek, where Derek was struggling to pull down and it hurt him. He looked worse, and not like John looks bad at 212, obviously, but or Derek, but I think he'll do really well. Even if he's 220, 225, I think his shape is just crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen Clarita do it. We've seen Hadi do it, and Derek. So those guys can hang and bang with the big boys, man, if they don't have that weight cap, right?
Yeah, true bodybuild does.
Yes.
Yeah, no joke.
Yes. It is Was it this week, Jay? Animal Pack's 40th anniversary?
It is
Is
8-8,
that right?
the infamous 8-8 date. Yeah,
Yes.
it's 40 years of Animal Pack, the product.
Chris, I
Very
don't know if you
impressive.
knew, or I don't know if you were aware that it was Animal Pack's 40th anniversary. You haven't
I
brought
think
it up in about 2 minutes. Chris has been banging
Yes.
on this for
Oh, yeah,
months now.
definitely. For me, oh my God. I mean, selling the product since the 80s, working at GNC's, always being affiliated with it. Super proud of the heritage. No, I want to talk about it a lot more. I want to scream it from the rooftops.
Pretty crazy that one single product. So we're talking about Animal Pack, just the product alone has been 40 years, which is nuts, man. Because there have been so many supplement companies that have come and gone in that time that don't make it 4 years, never mind 40 years. That's just wild, man.
Crazy.
Jay, how many variations would you say there's been in those 40
Great
years?
question.
That's a great question. To my knowledge that I've been a part of, it's been at least 10.
Like major,
But prior
like major.
major ones, I would say probably 5. It's
Okay.
been less
Yeah,
than
'cause
that.
they, you know, right? They changed a little.
Like here and there, we changed little
Yeah.
things, but the last one we did was a big one for us, where we
Yeah.
found a way to go from 11 to 8 tablets and keep
All that.
the spirit of the product, which was really
Cool.
cool.
I saw that. That's huge.
Yeah, so that was
Cool.
big for the 40th.
So Jay, is there going to be a party or something? Or?
Stay
You're looking at
tuned. We may have a big announcement coming up in September.
Oh,
Can't say
interesting.
what, but stay tuned.
Okay.
We're actually all coming back. All of us.
Awesome.
All of us.
Is your cubicle going to be like
That would be
right
huge.
across from Gary Turner's again?
That would
I can't do that again.
Oh my God.
You'd never hear the
What
end of
would
it
that
now. He
be?
got his pro card. Well, actually, you could because you technically can talk trash to him though.
Because I beat him.
Good.
Yeah,
You could.
that would be funny.
Yeah.
Jay, you got a couple of new animal chewables that you launched, right?
We did.
We
We've found a lot of success with our creatine chews. The consumer likes the product because it did away with the sandy texture of creatine. We did some insights and we found that creatine has like this real sandy texture that kind of sits to the bottom of
it's
your
pretty.
water if you mix it in water. So by putting it into a chewable tablet that we had with Universal, it was a Universal chews that we kind of reformulated, tweaked, made better for animal. We found that it solved like a real pain point for people. And then we kind of delved in a little bit and found that there were other categories that we could get into that people wanted. And we did energy chews, which is cool. It's like 100 milligrams of caffeine per serving, 1,000 milligrams tyrosine, 1,000 milligrams taurine, and sea salt, which is a lot to pack into a chewable.
Is that 4 tablets serving?
That's 4 tablets, and you could tailor it to how you need it. Super fast absorbing because it's activates in your mouth. And then we also did a recovery. This one's recover and
Pretty
restore
cool, man.
for post workout. So we have the before and then the after, which is cool, and
Cool.
tastes phenomenal. We've actually started to work very closely with some flavor companies, and they go back and forth. Like we send samples to them and go back and forth, and they tweak it for us. And that's been like monumental in really fine tuning the flavor so that it really, like when you bite into it, it's like an explosion of flavor. That's been
So
really
it's like
cool
an
process.
explosion in your mouth.
This is where it goes off the rails.
This is where I go. Where Eric goes crazy.
I couldn't. That was too easy.
But yeah, so we're super excited, and we're going to be building that platform out more along the way.
We got some new products then to celebrate the 40th with. That's awesome. I won't have those with me, but if anyone's going to be around in Ozone Park,
Cool.
natural body block party this weekend, I think 50 plus vendors. I'll be one of them. Come meet Chris Scotto, co-host of Jim Guys podcast. It's going to be
Very
super
cool.
exciting.
Speaking of the supplement industry, there's an interesting lawsuit going on. Alani Nu is suing Rise. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about it. And I want to get your guys'
Interesting.
reaction. So, Christian, I know you're an energy drink connoisseur, and we could talk about that when we talk about your place. But you know, Alani Nu just launched their Kim Kardashian collab, the
Yep.
Kim Aid.
Yep.
So they came out with this, I guess, ad. The one on the left is the Alani Nu Kim Kardashian picture.
What?
And on the right, what you see is Paige Hathaway and she's a Rise Sups athlete, and she recreated the picture
Wow.
using Rise energy. Now, we don't know if Rise approved of this or it was even their idea. I don't know if she did it on her own, but she is a Rise athlete. So Alani Nu is now suing them because of this infringement.
Can you
Wow.
sue over a picture?
Well, one, you could sue over anything, whether you win or not.
True.
I don't know, but you know, they're contending that it's a copy of their ad.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know either,
definitely,
Christian, that you could sue over an image.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it's not copyrighted, but it's an interesting lawsuit. And like I said, I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I said, Jay, there's hope for us then with someone copying a T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, Animal could go. We're talking about I'll say it, Steel Supplements and Jason where they
That still
Just-
makes me so angry.
stole the
know.
T-shirt design, the shut the fuck up and train. I mean, Animal, you certainly could sue if they wanted to for that.
That, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So-
irritates me.
What's interesting, I don't know about this. Like, what's funny is this Paige Hathaway. If you remember years ago, there was a whole scandal about her photoshopping her pictures. So I kind of laugh like at this, but this will be interesting to see where it goes. You know, like I said, who knows if this is actually suable, if somebody's going to win, or if there'll be a settlement or whatever. But just thought it was kind of interesting to me.
Pretty
When
bad.
I see something like this or the Jason Huth thing, it's just creatively lazy. Like, come up with your own shit, man.
100%.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
launches that, especially Jason Hudd launched his whole brand. Who he is. It's crazy to me.
It's crazy, I know.
come
But I
up with
wonder
your
if
own
there's-
stuff.
I still refuse to buy his products because of that.
Yeah, I would never.
Yeah.
So
Steal. But I wonder if there's past precedent with things like this in our industry, if there's any lawsuits in the docket already to show what an outcome might be.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
interesting.
Let's get back to the man of the hour. Now we're going to
Yes.
grill Christian Coronato. So let's just start off with we got to ask you. You've probably been asked a million times what it felt like to win your pro card and finally, reach that mountaintop.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I actually coached myself for the first time ever.
I did read that. That's impressive.
Yeah. So, through the years, I've had a couple coaches, and I always felt like I just didn't agree with everything. And so going into the show, I had plans of this being my last show also.
Either way, even if you lost,
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really think about if I won. I just was like, no matter what, like, I'm kind of done. I was so beat up. And I started dieting at like 24 weeks out. And at like 16, 15 weeks, I like felt like I didn't change at all. So I was exhausted, fatigued, and like not looking like I should. So I was mentally I was pretty much checked out, to be honest with you. So I'm like, I have to do this now or I'm never going to try. I didn't plan on, I wasn't sure if I was going to coach myself. I just knew I didn't want to be with my current coach. So nothing against him. He's a great dude, a great coach. We just didn't click, which, it happens. So we parted ways, and I started like kind of coming back to life, and I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm like, let's just roll with it. And my wife, Christy, was like my second set of eyes. She saw me every day. But then like Nick Lepore, we train a lot, so he would see me. My buddy Ant Gonzalez, who works for me, is a really good competitor who would see me also. So I had guys looking at me, but ultimately I made all the decisions, and I didn't actually ask too many questions to too many guys. There was one guy, this old school bodybuilder, actually from Staten Island, Big Joe, that I ran things by. Just because I just coming up, the old school methods I always felt like worked better. And I remember peak week with him, like I had it all written out and I sent it to him. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, if that's in your gut, go with it. And like, that's all I really needed to hear.
Wow.
But it was kind of like that, I just could bounce things off of him. But I just kind of, so when I got I didn't know if I was even going to make it. I was so, just beat up. So as soon as I got off of prejudging, I just broke down and started crying, especially being first call out in the middle.
Now you were in the middle, but if I remember, it was like 6 guys, so it was hard to tell you because there's no dead center. That's 6 guys, right?
It was split. So, and like a couple guys were, you get the people who are like, you won no matter what. I'm like,
I thought it was close, to be honest. I wasn't sure.
So that's what I appreciated. I had a couple guys who were like, listen, like go either way. And the dude Rocco is great. He's got a crazy look to him. So, and I understand, like, I'm a realist. I'm not going to walk in and be like, I beat everybody. Like, I'm just not like that. So, looking at Rocco, I'm like, he looks really good. It really could go either way. He had me on a couple shots for sure. So, I just, whatever, once it happened, I feel like it happened so fast and they rushed us off stage so fast that I like didn't really get to digest it. And then it's like Monday comes and I'm back to work and it doesn't, it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a super cool thing. It's a goal that we've chased for so long and a lot of guys never get there. Look at some of the great, Dave Palumbo and guys like that have never turned pro. And to me, like, that's wild. How long did it take John Meadows to turn pro? And it's like, so it was cool. And it was really cool to do with Gary. To be honest, it was phenomenal. And we had talked about it going in, like, imagine we're both there. Cause actually for a while I was going to be a heavyweight. So we would have been in the same class.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
And then my weight,
You might have took his pro card from
I honestly, I would have felt really bad. But my weight started trending down. And so
you didn't try and specifically make a weight class?
No. And that was also kind of like what I was worried about because my last show was 21 nationals. My worst placing ever. I actually didn't place. I've never not placed out of top 5 in any show ever.
Did not know that. Wow.
And
Wow.
and I got the dreaded 16th.
So everybody's tied for 16th when you get 16th, right?
Yeah. And I think my GI has always kind of given me problems, and we sucked down really hard to make weight, and then we tried to fill out really fast, and it just backfired. So that was my concern. And with my other coach, he was like, you got to be a light heavyweight. I'm like, I'm just not okay with that because I know how my carb ups go. But so I was like, all right, whatever my weight is a week out, we're kind of going to go with it. And I just kept trending down, but I started carbing up and my weight kept going down. So I'm like, light heavyweight it is. And so, I weighed in at 198.1.
And what's the cutoff?
Wow.
198 and a quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I had to get full, like I was naked. I had to, to. And Gary weighed in fully clothed, literally right behind me. Actually, we weighed in together because he had no cap.
Wow.
So,
Oh.
but so it was awesome. It's a crazy feeling. It's surreal. It's like you finally get to your goal, I guess. I never had dreams of being an IFBB pro. It was always something I loved. And then once I started kind of getting to the national stage, I was like, it'd be really cool. And then now that you're here, it's awesome. Like it's a unique thing. You don't meet too many, especially around here.
Yeah.
Pros.
Not many people get to say that. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, dialing in at 198.1, just a few ounces on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't eat from like 4 p.m. and weigh-ins are at 2 o'clock the middle of the day on Friday. So I didn't eat for it was like 22 hours.
Wow.
But then
Once
I
I
was
saw you on stage, that's what I did too. I didn't want to eat at all. I'm like, I gotta get in shape. That's amazing. Wow.
Have you done that before, Christian? Like with weigh-ins where you have such a long wait after? Or I mean, beforehand?
not
You're
that
trying to
long.
make-
'Cause I feel like nationals, it's early. So like I'll go to bed, I might not eat after 7 and then I'll wake up and then I weigh in and I can start eating. But
I
for
see.
whatever reason, I mean, I don't know why, but it started at 2 o'clock.
2.
And that's like, you know, it's you gotta wait.
Yeah.
So
it was worth it.
it's you and Gary in the overall. You guys
Yeah.
already had won your pro card at that point, right? So
Yeah.
there's no real pressure. It's more
Yeah.
fun, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But deep down inside, I'm sure you know, you guys are competitors. I'm sure you wanted to win.
Dude, so we get off, you know, obviously you guys know how it runs. I get off, I have my card, he's up, whatever, he wins, and I'm literally screaming backstage, and everyone's looking at me like, what's up with this guy? And someone said, did you come on the Gary Turner bus too? Because I guess he has like these crazy fans. I'm like, no, he's actually my athlete. Like, I'm really happy. And I got on stage, and there's no pictures, or the Masters got zero coverage, which like is horrible. But I got on stage, I'm like patting him on the back, like I have, you know, and I know Gary's like super serious about it. I'm like ecstatic that we both did this.
Right.
And then I'm like so happy. I'm like, and he's looking at me like I'm crazy, which like I was so happy that it actually happened how it happened. And then there's a picture of us hugging and like on stage, and it was like just super cool. And then I feel like we did the crab most muscular head-to-head shot,
and that guy walked right in front of you, man.
There's no pictures. There's like,
well, there's a guy, the competitor, the other guy walked right in front of you guys, like killed it.
But it was like, I feel like it was 10 seconds of a pose down.
Yeah, it was
that's what Gary had said. It was so fast.
It was very quick.
And then they lined us up, and they're like, all right, number, I don't know what it was, 75 is the winner. I'm just like, wait, that's it?
That's it.
Yeah. It was definitely some speedy announcements. I wonder if
it's a long show.
I wonder if Whitman caught any extra photos that we don't know about. And it
So,
definitely, the one with the front lat spread's freaking phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've hired him for a few years because his pictures are, and it's worth it. You know, instead, I'll pay the extra money for really, really good pictures. You know, the generic pictures just, they're not great. You know, to have those stage pictures, I think to me, it's like, it's priceless.
Yeah, he definitely brings out the best in everyone. Is probably some of the best out there, if not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, will you compete again?
So if you asked me a month or 2 months out, I was hard no. I was done. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't love to do the New York Pro. Like that's like an iconic show, you know?
Yeah.
Would I be competitive? I have no idea, but it would be really cool. But I have no rush. If I were ever to do that, you know, I've always wanted to try different sports. And I always kind of held myself back because like, if I got hurt, then bodybuilding's definitely done, you know?
Well, you did some powerlifting there, guy.
Yeah. So it's funny.
You're pretty damn good at that too.
Harchest just texted me. He's like, yo, there's a powerlifting meet in October. You want to do it? I'm like, sounds kind of good. I haven't done a heavy single in so long though, but that would be cool. It'd be cool.
You're strong. You don't have to worry about it. Is that what you're thinking? Maybe doing powerlifting?
I mean, I've always wanted to box. I don't want to fight. I know you've done some Krav. I want to just kind of try different things now, you know. I'll always train, but I just kind of, now that I don't have the fear of getting hurt, and if I get hurt, it is, you know, I don't want to get hurt, but you know, I do want to try a couple different things. I don't know what else, but I've wanted to box for a long time.
Chris Tuttle seems to have loved it now. He
And
seems to
gotten really good.
He did get really good. His journey that he's posted, you could definitely notice like this significant improvement.
Yes, I remember the first few. I'm like, I don't know, and then he posted,
which is how I would perform.
Yeah, and
now he's got some snap.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Hey, Steffi Cohen did it right. She went from powerlifting to.
She's not human.
Yeah, she's a damn good boxer, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's a compliment, Steffi.
Yeah.
Yes, that is definitely a compliment. She's surreal. She's just dominated everything. She's, you know, physical therapist, right? Doctor.
Yeah.
And just wild. Super strong. and that,
Well,
which I think is cool to be like, literally, she was the top of the game and switch sports and try to do something else.
Risky, right? Your reputation, you're the best at one sport, and then you're
Yep.
starting out as a beginner in another sport. It's pretty
Yep.
ballsy.
Very, but cool.
What's her record now too? I don't think she's only lost one fight. I think she's fought what, 3 or 4 times now?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I don't remember her losing though. I mean, maybe she did lose one, but I don't
I think
remember.
there was one that she lost because I remember her maybe posting something about a learning experience, but
Mhm.
just yeah, just informative, just incredible all around.
Cool. So that's exciting that you may, I wasn't sure if you were going to say you're going to retire or whatever, but that's pretty exciting. And
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
it's,
love to see you do it.
Gary's put his body through hell.
Gary's making the right decision for his health.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
I've always been better at balancing, am I balancing everything? No. Do I fall short of some things? Absolutely. And I recognize that. So that's why I'm in no rush if it were ever to happen. I got to make sure my home's good. My business is good. I have a daughter that I want to eat ice cream with. So you never know. I have, he's like a hard set on downsizing and just being like, whatever, which is, like you said, that I think that's the best thing for him, for sure.
Probably saving his life for him to do.
100%.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, Christian, I was gonna ask you, how did you balance it? Like, it's amazing. You're running a business, you have your family, and you're fitting the bodybuilding training into that. What did your schedule look like to fit that in? Like, how was your morning to like night?
I feel like, like I said, some things definitely fell to the wayside, not by choice, just by, one, being a business owner. Like, that's got to be number one. Like, I have to provide, I got to make money, for my family. Everything. I've been called a 50% bodybuilder, which is someone actually taking a dig at me. Someone said, like, imagine you put as much into bodybuilding as you put into your business or your family. And I'm like, well, that's never going to happen, because they're both more important to me than bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So,
geez.
Yeah. Hang on, she's coming to say goodnight. Come in.
Yeah. Bring her in.
Here's our real featured guest.
Me and Tegan have the same bedtime. That's funny.
How are you?
I love you.
We're talking proudly about Daddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my wife and I split, like, putting her to bed and getting up with her. So my nights my nights when I put her to bed, I'd have to train. I love you. 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And it just, I've always kind of been, I got to make it happen. If I'm just not someone that makes excuses. And I understand, like, some people don't have the option to train that late as far as gym times, but we have a couple gyms. Pure Focus is 24 hours, which is a local gym. And my buddy just opened a gym right here also, Lifters Lair.
Right?
Yep.
You're gonna come
Which is also 24 hours. So, the no gym being open is not an option. It's there, and I had to make it work. But I've noticed that I can't recover as much as I used to.
You're getting old now, pal.
Be 38 this year.
Wow.
I know. So, like, Mondays and Thursdays were like 21, 22-hour days. Because those are my really big, long cooking days. 25,000 steps and, like, just, insane days.
5,000 steps.
Yeah. So actually, I'll share. Today's Thursday.
That's amazing.
So we're at, like, I don't know if you can see that. It's almost 17,000 now.
Yeah.
How many of those is on like a piece of cardio machine, at their gym?
Oh, so in prep, I'll get to the gym. I'll train tonight still. I'll get to the gym probably 17,000 or 18,000. And then without cardio, maybe I'll be right under 20,000.
That's just steps from you at work, walking around.
in
That's
the kitchen,
amazing.
just
Just
doing
walking.
circles.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but the other days are not like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So we finally got to a place where Friday, Saturday, we're off fully. And then Sunday I work at night, but it's at home. So I do get a break. It's not like I'm working 21 hours every single day.
I
It's
see.
just kind of how the business has to be run. I got to get in, I got to start cooking before the guys get in so they can start, weighing stuff. And it's just, it is what it is, the nature of the meal prep game.
So I do want to transition to talking about the business. So that's a good segue there. Give us the brief story of how and why you started Coronato's Clean Cuisine. For those listening, Christian worked with us for a time at Animal, but he had gone to culinary school prior. So how and why'd you start it?
All right. So I think that I always find this story kind of funny. So my wife worked as a sales rep. She worked for Cintas. And if you're familiar with Cintas, they're like
Uniform
uniforms.
company, right? Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
facility services is what they claim, because they do chemicals, towels, aprons, all that stuff. And she was making really, really good money. And I remember being at Universal not making good money. And so I'm like, I got to make more money. I'm going to try to be a sales rep. The only people, no one would look at me because I didn't have any sales experience. So the only person that was interested was Milwaukee Power Tools. So I took the job with Milwaukee. It was technically the TTI, which is the conglomerate. So they owned a bunch of companies, but Milwaukee was our main one. And I actually would go to Home Depot, and I was one of those guys that just sat at Home Depot, not working for Home Depot, but being an outside salesman and trying to get people to buy Milwaukee. I'm like, this job sucks. Like, this is not me. I'm like, I don't even I am okay with power tools. Like, I've been around them. I know what they are, but I'm not like Mr. Fix It by any means. So my wife gets pregnant in that time, and I'm like, shit, I need to make more money like now, because Milwaukee was supposed to be a stepping stone into like pharmaceutical sales or med device sales or something like that, where you can make some pretty good money. I never got there. My wife got pregnant, and I'm like, I need to make more money now. And going to culinary school, I have my bachelor's in culinary. I'm like, I'm just going to start cooking again. And I had always wanted to do meal prep, but I didn't know how to make it different. There was Kettlebell, there was Eat Clean Bro. There's so many companies out that were doing things. I just didn't know how to differentiate. And it literally just hit me one night that I'm just going to cook how I cook. People can send me their diets. Actually, CrossFit was a big reason why we started the way we started. RP was huge, which Nick Shaw is an OG animal guy.
Yeah. And he also won his pro
Yeah.
card
Yep.
there.
Pro, which is
Yep.
awesome.
Amazing.
We've talked through the years. So me and Nick have kept in touch. My wife has done RP diets for a really long time. She was doing one, and she's like, this is so confusing to me. I'm like, well, it's not to me. So I had people sending me RP diets, and I was just doing their food like that. And no one else was doing that, because you had to pick generic meals, or you couldn't change anything.
Right.
So it got busier really fast. And she was still working at Cintas. She was pregnant. I was working for Milwaukee, and we started the business. Within like a month, she's like, you got to find a kitchen. Like, I was doing this at the house.
Right.
Found a commercial kitchen. I lucked out. It was really close to the Home Depot I was working out of. So I'd leave Milwaukee, I'd leave the Home Depot, and I'd go cook. And then Chrissy would meet me there. And it was a shared kitchen. So we had to
Certain hours, right?
certain hours. So the only hours available when I first got in was Monday through the night, like starting at 6 p.m. and Friday through the night, starting at 6 p.m. She'd come and work until like 1, 2 a.m.
Wow.
And she was 7, 8 months pregnant. And you literally used to have to kick her out. I'm like, you have to go home. There's no way this is healthy. Eventually she got so, she was probably at that time, maybe a couple weeks, a month out. And I'm like, we have to hire someone, and you can't come back. So we did. We hired our first girl. And then, from there, kind of just steamrolled. We hired a couple more people, changed through the second kitchen, which was, I was able to change hours. We were able to do Mondays and, actually before that, I was forced to quit. So I had to jump ship for my full-time job because she had the health insurance.
Mhm.
And, in order to change, I'm sorry, I had the health insurance. And in order to change onto her health insurance, I either had to lose my job, quit my job, or like we couldn't just go. And she was about to be on maternity leave. So I had to quit. So she would take the health insurance.
Right.
And then when she went on maternity leave, like if you're on maternity leave, you can't change insurances. It's like,
Right.
it's difficult. So a couple kitchens later, we were able to hire more people. And then just 2 years ago, we bought the building we're in. We opened a storefront. So we have the fridge, we sell the dog butter, we sell a lot of
Yes,
local
thank you.
stuff. Big fan.
And it's a cool spot. Like it's like if you want to go there and pick up your food or even just sit down and eat. They
Yeah,
have little tables there. It's like an experience. And he's got Christian's got a big energy drink refrigerator. I know you're big on energy drinks, so
well, so it's funny you say that because I'm actually personally not. I
I
don't.
thought you were.
I actually drink 0 energy drinks besides pre-workouts.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't crack.
Okay.
Never. Not even. I don't say never, and I'm not against them.
Mhm.
I would rather drink espresso, which we have espresso machines. We have 2 because Nick has his own on his desk too.
That's the Burger Buff secret, like headquarters. So.
Yeah. So yeah, but Chrissy's big Alani girl. And it brings traction. So I've always wanted to just kind of have just crazy drinks or new drinks or whatever. Our
Yeah,
drink,
you got the new flavors right away. Like as soon as they
Yeah.
come out, you got them.
yeah, I have a good connect with our drink distributor who's he has he's the only distributor for Alani, like a lot of things locally besides going direct.
Mhm.
So he gets everything. The day the Kim Aid was
Yeah.
launched, like announced,
Mhm.
he had it. So I was
Wow.
able to get it that same day.
I
'cause
saw
he-
you like holding
Yeah.
it and the
Yeah.
stories, and I was like,
I've
wow,
heard
that's
other
fast.
retailers brag about how well it's doing too.
It's
Dang.
insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're gonna crush it.
My thought is it's probably bringing everyone's like, what does she know about fitness? And that's
Doesn't
not
matter.
that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
It's a brand new audience that doesn't know about Alani.
Awareness, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna sell it.
It's
Tons.
insane how fast it sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
so
it
that-
any good? Have
that-
you tasted it? Is it any good?
I think every Alani tastes identical.
So
Listen,
I
the
just
one you
tried my
tried-
first one for the first time, the cherry
That
slush.
is by far our worst seller though.
So the flavor was good. It was just too sweet for
There-
me.
that's-
I know some people like it, but
That's how I feel about a lot of energy drinks. I don't mind the flavors, but like you said, you can't drink the whole can. I can't either. So I'll just steal sips of Christie's or, but I would just rather have espresso. I like the flavor of espresso. And I just feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of things and I feel like a hypocrite because I drink pre-workouts.
It's different though, right? Carbonated can versus your own powder and what you do with it and how you
Yeah,
ingest
I
it.
I think a lot of pre-workouts do have less ingredients than a lot of the RTDs. I mean, Jay, you know more about ingredients, but like I don't know. There's something that is off-putting to me personally about an energy drink, and I don't know why.
I've grown to like them. I don't know.
Yeah, not as many ingredients. Like in
Yeah.
the powder, you could pack so much more
Yeah,
benefits, more performance benefits.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about this food. Now, I am, in full disclosure, I am a customer of Coronato's. I get my food delivered every week. I buy the proteins in bulk. You could buy individual meals or you could buy proteins in bulk. But I gotta say, and I'm not just saying it because you're my friend or whatever, but I've been cooking. I'm a decent cook, but I cannot, like this guy salmon. I can never get salmon to taste as good as he does. And the one thing, I don't know what you put in the buffalo chicken meatballs, but they're like friggin' crack, bro.
I mean, so my big thing is like, it's about the quality of the ingredients, right? So we use Bell and Evans chicken, which is
The best.
some of the best chicken there is.
Best, yeah.
Nothing else
It's
like it.
phenomenal. That was a game changer for us when we made that switch. our chicken sales went nuts because a lot of people have never had that. They just assume chicken is rubbery. Same
I
thing
don't
with
know
our
if any other
salmon.
meal prep companies use that. That's great. That's great to know. That's great
Yeah,
quality.
it's expensive, but at the end of the day, I don't want to cut. I've never wanted to cut corners on that. Like even my cost, I pay $6 a pound for Bell and Evans. For Bell and Evans, that's cheap, but I can get wholesale chicken for $1 a pound.
Right.
But you'll never want to eat it. So like people aren't going to come back. Same thing with the salmon. So I get a restaurant quality salmon. Local 130 is our distributor, and they have I mean, if you look on a lot of higher end restaurants, that's who they use. And anyone could use it. It's just it's not cheap. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get a cheap product just to, because to me it doesn't make sense. If you're not going to sell more of it, you're going to sell less, and then you're going to try to raise the prices, and it just, to me, so that's really what it comes down to is the quality of the products.
Well, the food is delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah, can't
If
say
anyone's
enough.
watching this, right? What do you guys say about Bell and Evans just in general versus other chicken? Like, what should people know about that we're talking about it so much?
So Bell and Evans is, I mean, the taste you got. If you've never tasted it, I suggest you go by. A lot of stores carry it now. It used to be kind of like a Whole Foods thing.
Yeah, it's in my local shop, right? Yeah.
Yep, ShopRite. I've seen at Stop and Shop. I don't know what else people have around, obviously, but you're looking at probably $10, $11 a pound. Buy a pound. And I understand that's really expensive for a lot of people. But just try it. And there's definitely different, if you get the generic ShopRite or store brand stuff, you're going to struggle to eat it. And I did it for so long, just not knowing that there was a big difference. And Evan Santapani was like, you got to try this. And I did, and I never went back.
They don't inject their stuff, right?
No, it's truly a free range chicken. That's the only thing they do is chicken. Right. They have their own farms.
So when you buy it, you're getting a true pound of chicken. Yes. When you buy that regular chicken at $1.99 a pound, it's all plumped up with liquid. So when you cook it down, you're going to lose, you're not really getting a pound at the end of the day.
And that's what dries it out. But it's so true free range. They do have an organic line too. But we don't get that. That's like crazy expensive. They have, I don't remember all the claims. The biggest thing is that it honestly tastes, you like can't dry it out. It's wild.
Interesting. Yeah. What is your best seller at Coronato's?
So meal wise, taco bowls.
Okay.
Sure. Single ingredient, I would say probably the meatballs. Meatballs, we do teriyaki, we do chicken.
Yeah.
We do teriyaki and buffalo. They are gluten-free, which I know not everyone cares about. But for a while we were fully gluten-free. I use a rice panko, and in those meatballs are actually they're scallions, and there's a little bit of gluten-free teriyaki sauce. Even the buffalo ones, it's just a little, that's our binder, because you don't use eggs, you don't use anything.
The secret.
Wow.
But it's, instead of using eggs or whatever to bind, that's the binder. But we don't use the gluten-free teriyaki sauce on top. We used to, and then we lost that distributor. They couldn't keep up, not with us, just their own demand, because there's a really, really good gluten-free sauce. So we don't say we're fully gluten-free anymore, unfortunately. That's the teriyaki sauce is the only thing that we have that's not gluten-free. Yeah, meatballs fly out. We do so many meatballs, it's insane.
I'm not kidding, guys. They're fantastic.
I definitely got to try them.
How many of your customers do the individual meals as opposed to the bulk protein? Is it 50-50? Is it
So on the site, we sell a lot of bulk. By the pound, it's much more cost effective. If you have the time to weigh it out, I send people that way.
That's why I do it, honestly. I would love to get the individual meals, but it's a big difference in price.
Huge. If you don't have the time, and there's people that are like, I don't want to do anything, I want to just do this. And we get people that definitely do that. They get a lot. It's probably 50-50, but then obviously in the store, we sell a ton of meals out of the fridge. So that brings that side up. But the by the pound it's like a no-brainer. You can't, if you can't cook and you're meal prepping, and if you're a competitive bodybuilder, or even if you just, we get, parents that they want just chicken. They want to add it to random things, salads or whatever. So they'll get 10 pounds of chicken and then just kind of divvy it out. They add things to it. They do whatever, but that main thing is cooked for them. And that's how they do it.
Right. So your physical location is in Brick.
Mhm.
You do deliver, obviously. I know I get it delivered, but like, how far do you deliver?
Yeah. So the location is in Brick. Like I said, we opened that 2 years ago. We have a fridge, and I've always liked to kind of have people around me that I kind of came up with, like you. That's this new shirt. Support your homies.
Love it.
That's a cool shirt.
And so you can come in, and we always have you in stock. We have there's a local girl that makes protein donuts that are phenomenal. I'm actually like really not into protein treats. I'd rather have the real thing, but her protein donuts, you would never know there's protein in them. She's awesome. So we always have her. I met a kid at a farmer's market that makes a local hot sauce. So
I've seen
he's
that.
in there. Sean Vasquez, who owns Pride with Rice and Grinds, who came up bodybuilding with, we have him.
Got Chris Tuttle's electrolytes, right?
Yep, we sell crazy. They told me I'm their biggest account for that too.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yo, to be honest,
That's amazing.
Christian sells more dog butter than any pet store I'm in.
Dude,
Which is wild.
I think it's because we have so much walk-in traffic.
Yeah.
So like a lot of those are our big, like, always there companies. And then we started this thing. We have we put a shelf rack up, and we gave people space every month to fill it, and just kind of set up almost like a little shop. We take nothing. We don't want anything. We just want to help people kind of grow.
Awesome.
We've had a couple different, things in there. Right now we have this really cool shirt guy called Third Day Apparel, and it's all about like positive motivational shirts. So literally he sets up his display, his Venmo is right there. You buy it directly from him.
Wow.
He just has a spot now, so hopefully it'll kind of launch him or help someone,
Bro, it's a huge help for a small business.
that's that's kind of what we always wanted. We don't need the money. We have the space. Kind of let someone, you never
Super
know.
cool.
So that's the store. We deliver. So we've kind of, I don't want to say maxed out where we deliver now, but we've been in the same location for a while. So we go up to the Driscoll Bridge, out to almost Trenton, and down all the way down to it honestly varies. Manahawkin, Barnegat, sometimes a little bit further south, but that's pretty much where we are. But we do 2 gyms in Staten Island on a different day. We don't do homes in Staten Island, but you can order your personal orders and get them delivered to Staten Island. So we do PI Fitness and Intox in Oakwood.
Cool.
So they both have meals in stock, but you can also order personal meals there also.
Get them delivered. That's cool. And you still do that in some gyms in New Jersey too, right?
Yeah, we have a ton. Powerhouse Old Bridge is a huge. They were like our first account. We do a ton with them. Super grateful for them. We have Pure Focus, Lifter's Lair, a couple stores. So we have Nitro Nutrition,
Yes.
which you're in, Alpha Anatomy, which is one in Toms River. Then we have Competitive Edge down in Barnegat. And then we just started at Jersey Shore Supplements in Toms River again also.
Cool.
I think that's it. We were in a lot more before COVID, and COVID kind of screwed a lot of that up. And we went and we noticed it just made more sense just to kind of stick to direct to consumer.
Right.
So that's kind of where we stayed with that.
Do you do any marketing for Coronatos, or is it all word of mouth?
A lot of it's word of mouth. I have a constant ad running for the kitchen. So technically there's 2 names. One's Coronato's Clean Cuisine and one is Coronato's Kitchen. We were gonna totally rebrand actually as Coronato's Kitchen once we opened. We had a couple different concepts that we were gonna do as well, and at the kitchen beyond the meal prep, which I think we still will. I don't really want to say it publicly.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
But that's why we rebranded, and we got so busy so fast with the storefront that we literally everything stayed the same. So we have 2 Instagrams that like it's kind of confusing, but one is the actual kitchen, one is the meal prep, but it's like the meal prep's run out of the kitchen. So I have a constant ad running for the kitchen, like 365, but it's localized. So it's like just Tom's River Brick area, just
that's
kind of
smart.
try to raise awareness. So you guys may never see it.
Right.
That is always running. Other than that, no. We've done a couple mailers.
Expensive.
Man,
Yeah,
if you don't have to do paid advertising, that's amazing. That's
It's
amazing.
amazing.
But I feel like I'd like to do more, and Nick's always Burger Buff's always on me to do more. My concern is and always was getting this crazy influx of business and not being able to handle it and the quality start going down.
Right.
We've had such a slow trajectory from 6 years ago that it's been great. Like every January we get a big bump. And
so
then
the gyms,
yeah. So we follow the gym trends. That's exactly what we follow.
Right.
But I was petrified of that, getting so, and I don't know if it would ever happen. That's the main reason why we never really did a lot of marketing.
That was one of the things with my brother-in-law, Joe, who was running Kettlebell Kitchen for a while, just the CrossFit community, getting that, fridge and all those boxes, if you will, and just, people either grabbing the meals before or after or picking up their meals. I think that was probably the tougher part, was just, it was all subscription based.
Yeah. And that's, keeping track of a lot of that. And, it's hard. A lot of those gyms want fridges. And I've seen a couple brands, unfortunately, Kettlebell was one of them, that once those brands go out, now you're out all those fridges unless you try to sell them, or, it's
Expensive.
those fridges are $1,500, $1,600 each.
Wow.
And I provided a couple fridges in the beginning for bigger accounts, but I'm like, I tell them straight up, I'm like, I'm not giving you a fridge unless you're getting, unless we work up to whatever, 100, 150, 200 meals a week, then yeah, totally. It'll make sense because eventually the money's going to be there. But if you're getting 20 meals a week, I'm not giving you a fridge. And, and some people, that's the end of the conversation. But some people are like, all right, we'll figure it out. We'll put it in the drink fridge, whatever,
Maybe you could make it part of their rental or their lease,
Yeah.
they paid time. But
You have any plans for any new menu items?
I was just talking about this too. I know you were a big fan. I want to do chicken thighs.
Yes, I would, dude.
Oh,
I would order those over chicken breast any day of the week.
Yeah, I want to do, and I know Bell and Evans has a really good one too. I just gotta, I'm gonna do it actually. I just gotta add it. I gotta get it in stock and then just start adding it. And do it the same way. We'll grill it, or you can get teriyaki. Because I think that's an easy addition. Right now, that's kind of it. I haven't really sat down and thought of it, but I made chicken thighs at home last night. I'm like, why don't I just add this? This is super easy to do.
In my opinion, they taste so much better.
Yeah, they're a home run.
Much
But
more
right now,
moist, they taste better.
Yeah. I would like to sit down and kind of go over some things, and we've kind of been doing the same thing for a long time, but in my head, it's always like you can build different things. So there's 1,000 different combinations you can do.
Yeah, and you could do limited edition. You don't have to make something permanent,
Yeah.
see what sticks.
Yeah.
Christian, I was going to ask, what long-term goals do you have for the business, or even for yourself?
Yeah.
If you can go into it.
I love working. Yeah, I've always worked. I like to cook. It's been my passion. A lot of people are like, why are you still cooking? I'm like, because what else am I gonna do? I love it. I really do. I enjoy being, in the kitchen, and my wife is there full time. It's awesome working together. What I'd really like to do, and I've expressed this to some people, I'd like, so right now, since I do all the cooking, the only time we close like a holiday here or there, but we close from Christmas to New Year's. It's the only time we slow down a lot, but it's the only time we really have the ability to close because it slows down so much. So that's the only time we get to go on vacation.
Oh,
But I would like to be able to go away at some other point in the year and not have to close. And that's literally just like once in a while. I have no interest in taking off weeks here and there. Like I want to be there. I want people to, see us working. Like I feel like that has been a big part of why the brand has been so successful is that you're talking to the owners. So honestly, like beyond that, like I just have seen so many people, they open second, third, fourth locations, and they don't do so well. I'd like to maximize what we can do here first. Like I said, I have another idea we were supposed to do here. My original concept, that goes hand in hand with the meal prep. It's not very different, but I think that would be next. It would be the kind of a continuation of what we're doing, but we don't have the space to do it where we're doing it. Or the other thing would be just basically set up grab and go fridges or grab and go storefronts somewhere else. So either South Jersey, North Jersey. So we do all the cooking, get a refrigerated van, whatever, a couple times a week, go to those stores and just stock up. Which is kind of like what we are now. People can come in, they, you just pull from the fridge and whatever there is what you get. That's a realistic goal, I think, for us, but I don't want to have 100 locations. Like I'm stressed managing 12 people. So, and I'm happy where we are. I'm able to pay my bills and, work with my wife and we have some really great guys that work with us and girls. Nick's there every day. My best friend for years.
That's awesome.
Competed together. So he's got a safe spot. It's cool that, we came up in business together too. We came up in bodybuilding and then we came up in business, and to bounce ideas off him. And he's realistic too, where he gets, the questions too, like, why don't you have a storefront? And he's like, because for me, it doesn't make sense. So I'll run something by him and he'll be like, that's a stupid idea. Which I appreciate though.
That's good to have. Yeah. It's good to have someone like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm happy where we are, man. I really, like I said, we bought the building, so we're safe there.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, we lucked out with that too, like finding that location. And me and Christy we had to max out our credit cards to make sure we got the down payment, but it was like we couldn't pass the opportunity. It's such a major highway that we're on, that it was a home run. And we bought at a good time. It was, couple months post COVID, post shutdown. The guy wanted out so bad. So it was good. So, I like to be there. I want to be there. So
that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, that is living your passion. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it took a long time. I know a lot of people are like, this isn't something I knew what I was going to do. I worked for you guys. I don't know how long it was, 7-8 years or something like that. And I remember just feeling stuck and like, I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm getting, I'm in my 30s at this point. I'm like, I can't I don't want to just get by. And I wasn't cooking. I stopped. I was cooking for myself, but then it just kind of hit me. I'm just going to do it. And I had no intentions of it getting here and being a full-time business, my wife working full-time. And it just kind of steamrolled because it was something that I love to do. And just like you, right, Eric, it's like, you love animals, you love supplements, you love dogs, love supplements. And then you combine the two and
it's fulfilling.
Man.
Word.
It's like,
we haven't, with Paw Power, we haven't taken any money yet from the business. We just, reinvested or whatever, but it's still fulfilling. Like, I don't, I know it'll pay off one day, but it's fulfilling.
I think that's what makes things so successful. You're not there. Like, I don't cook. I got to pay my bills, but I'm not cooking because I want to make money. I cook because that's all I wanted to do as a kid. I applied to one college. It was Johnson & Wales to do culinary. Growing up, my parents, it's all I wanted to do was cook.
Was this something
Wow.
when you were a kid that got you into cooking, like a family member or something? Or do you remember what got you started on it?
That's a great question. I don't know. My mom always cooked. But like my grandparents cooked, but they weren't like these phenomenal cooks. My mom was a great cook. And I think maybe just being with her all the time. I don't actually that's a good question. I wonder if my mom knows that. But I have like a menu from when I was like 9 that I made to like if my
Wow.
friends would sleep over and they could pick what they wanted and I would cook it. You know, it was simple things like
Right.
scrambled eggs, you pick your drink, your
Right.
breakfast side items and stuff, but it's actually it's hanging up at the kitchen at work.
That's so cool.
Wild.
That's all I wanted to do. I had zero interest in anything else.
So out of your menu items, what is your favorite thing to eat?
Honestly, I eat steak. I'm in the middle of eating steak and chicken. I don't really, I mean, I'll eat other things, but that's just always been my go-to.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I mean, I like it. That's probably why.
Okay.
But yeah,
Fried
those are my
chicken
go-to
too,
steak.
right?
And I eat jasmine rice all the time. Yeah.
Cool. We are getting close on time, so we are gonna
Yeah.
have to wrap pretty soon. So, Christian, how can people find you and find the business? Where can they find more info?
Yep. So there's 2 business pages, and everything's the same across the board. Coronato's Clean Cuisine I think I have a Twitter for that actually.
It's
But
called X now. I don't know if you guys are paying
right
attention.
on X.
An X.
It sounds weird.
Yeah, on Instagram and Facebook. Coronato's Kitchen also on Instagram and Facebook. I think I made a TikTok for that. I don't really remember.
You should be all over that TikTok. Man.
I know. Nick yells at me for that too, because I know what I should be doing. I just don't want to.
I gotcha.
And then my personal is just C Coronato. And that I definitely have TikTok for that, which I think I only have a couple posts, but I have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
If you want to order the meals, it's coronatoscleancuisine.com, correct?
Yeah, so everything is done on the website. All ordering everything. If you have questions, obviously you can call us, DM us, email us. I answer pretty much everything. Yeah.
Awesome. You guys have any other questions? Jay, Chris?
Oh, when can I eat? That's
Come to Brick, New Jersey, buddy.
Gotta stop
Yeah.
by Brick.
I'll do it.
I'd love to get out there,
I'm there
man.
sometimes.
It's where
Yeah.
he's got killer. These are killer protein balls too.
Yeah, I got those
Oh.
actually right here too.
They're so good, man.
Yeah,
Oh
when
my
you guys
God.
were going back and forth, I was gonna say, where are the desserts? I'm like,
He's got protein balls and the protein
protein-
donuts. He's got them, man.
protein
So
sheet, huh?
actually, one of my guys just started his own kind of side business too, Caesar's pastries. Have you seen that, Eric?
I saw one post about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the guys that works for us, he's a phenomenal chef. He started like a pastry thing. So over the weekend, he comes in, he makes whatever his creations are. And then Monday we have fresh actual pastries. They're not healthy by any means.
Mhm.
But they're there every Monday. And then whenever they sell out, they sell out. So it's like a little side thing that he started, but he actually
Wow.
works for us.
I love that as his boss or business owner, you're encouraging this because
Yeah.
I've worked in some places where that would be completely discouraged and
I
Helps them do what they gotta do and,
truly
you know.
find joy. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, you said it. You just said it. That just helps them be happier and
Yeah.
probably work more efficiently for you because they like how they're being treated.
Yeah, and we've all worked for crappy people. I never wanted that, but I find true joy in seeing someone else like find success or like finding something that they love. And like, yeah, I want these people to always work for me, but like I get so happy. Like a guy that I had working for us, he was there for a little while and he was trying to get into law school. He was pre-law and then took some time to study. And he finally got in, and he's leaving today. And we lost him as an employee, but I can't tell you how happy I was for him to like follow that and actually get there. I had no idea how hard it is just to get into law school. It's extremely, extremely hard. He kept getting denied.
Wow.
Passed the tests,
Wow.
but they literally are just like, sorry, you can't come here. You can't give me your money. I had no idea. And he was starting to get discouraged. And then he finally got in. He's going to Orlando, literally he's on his way right now. This guy, Steve.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, super
That's
cool.
amazing.
And like, to me, that's like absolutely amazing. You know, yeah, I'm upset we lost him, but like for him to follow that dream, it's like, it's cool, man. And like, I had nothing to do with that, but just, I'm happy that like I got to, you know, become friends with him and watch him, you know, chase a dream.
Awesome, man. That's got to be a great culture there to work,
Yeah.
which is cool.
We try. It gets, you know, it's a kitchen. It's still getting, it gets hot. It gets,
I've seen it. I've been there, and it's so busy. You guys are like running around like crazy.
Yeah, we got a pretty good assembly line now, though.
Cool. And it's pretty.
So even real quick, Nick worked for me for a little while too.
Wow. I didn't know.
Yeah, so he was in between jobs. His job moved to Ohio, and they're like, you can come out here when he was a pharmacy tech.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And they're like, we'll move you out here. He's like, I'm not moving to Ohio. So he worked for us for a little bit while he had already started Burger Buff. And I could see it. He was getting drained. And finally he's like, I don't think I could do this anymore. And it sucked losing my best friend working for me, but to see him now and like how massive he's gotten,
He's crushing.
he's going to Korea next month.
Amazing.
To cook burgers. Like, it's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's wild.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So
We got to have him on and talk about burgers and stuff.
yeah, the kid is, he worked Sunday night he did an after wedding party. I come in Monday morning, I get in there like 4:30. He's asleep at the desk.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
dude, you gotta go home, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
People don't realize how much work behind the scenes he does.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just burgers. It's not just cooking the burger. There is
Right.
so much that he does behind the scenes. The burger's just the end result.
Awesome.
I'm super happy to see how he's doing.
Cool. This is great having you on, man. We love you. We're so happy for you that you got your pro card.
Thank you very
Super
much.
happy. Glad we could be there to see it.
Yeah.
Major congratulations. And I'm
Thank
getting
you.
like this big vision right now. Jay hosting a 40th anniversary animal party catered
Wait.
by
This guy.
Burger Buff.
Cuisine
Yeah.
And Burger Buff.
Burger Buff. Yes.
I love it.
Sponsored
Burger
by
Papa.
Sponsored by the whole event. It all comes together. That's
Burger
the
Buff
best
worked
part.
there too.
that would be epic.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that would be
Right.
epic.
That's right.
Right. An alumni party.
Yeah.
I remember having burgers with him in Germany. We were going to like different burger spots, trying them out.
That's like kind of where it started, was all those trips and trying all those different burgers.
Wow.
And it just kind of steamrolled into, he had no idea he was going to cook burgers for I don't know if it's be the rest of his life, but full time.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Imagine getting paid to eat burgers. It's crazy.
It's awesome. It's seriously, and it's really sad is the amount of hate he gets about it.
I see the stupid comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are jealous,
too.
not happy with their own lives.
Yeah, you're cooking burgers and you're traveling to foreign countries. Like, you can't really hate on that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it sounds like the life. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
to be appreciated.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, you're going to the gym. I'm going to bed.
Yep.
Christian, I'll meet you at the gym. These
All right.
guys train early.
I'll be
You
going to
train-
bed soon.
Seriously, thank you.
Thank
Again,
you.
I'm not surprised at all. Awesome journey. Awesome to hear all the great things you do for other people as well. And again, that's kind of what this podcast is all about, just being real and doing good things with the industry. And it's just such a great community. So thank you again, and congratulations again, not only on the success of becoming an IFBB Pro, but obviously your business and where you're headed towards, and family man, and just really admirable. Very, very
Thank you.
admirable. So
I do really appreciate it.
and I know Eric's gonna post this soon. Again, look for us on Gym Guys Pod on Instagram, it's just Gym Guys Pod, or Gym Guys Podcast on YouTube. and look for more great guests such as Christian Coronato in our upcoming episodes. So thank you again, everyone. Great training, great eating to everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.